Here is the World on Water's 35th America's Cup report.
The AC50 is a 15-metre catamaran capable of achieving speeds of 100 kilometres an hour. 15 designers and 50 boat builders have contributed to the design and build of the AC50. Our testing boats were designed to be as close to our racing boat as possible, but now that we've improved over the last couple of years the systems of our testing boat, we've put all this into our new racing yacht.
The boat is more powerful, it's longer and much more efficient, and we see that every time we go out in the water now. It's already exceeding a lot of the predictions that we had from our design tools.
Yeah, well, one of the challenges is the boats are very, very undermanned. There's not a lot of people on the boat who aren't grinding on a winch handle. So the skipper, for example, has to do a number of tasks at the same time.
Steering an AC50 is very tough. You've got to be looking at the wind, you've got to be listening to the crew, you've got to be thinking about the tactics on the race course. There's so many different things going on. The helmsman job's probably the hardest job on the boat, but we're lucky we've got a pretty good one.
We're looking at multiple changes per second. Everything obviously has to be done by the athletes on board the boat. It's all human powered, and it's really, this wheel is what helped us start it all. So what happens now is all of the challenges will come together and they will go through essentially an elimination series. Double round robins, they'll then get to semi-finals, they'll then go to a final, and the winner of their final will come to race us in the America's Cup. Keep your fingers crossed for Oracle Team USA, the America's Cup here in Bermuda.
The measurement committee have been here for the last 2 weeks, and they've been pouring over our boat and everyone else's boats. We have the boat in the shed at certain times. They come along with the tape measures and to inspect everything and ask us a bunch of questions, as they're doing with all the teams. We've got queries coming in from different teams about things they've seen on other teams' boats that the measurement committee then go and check out and just verify they're happy that everyone's rule legal. We've fixed a few of the niggling issues we've had over the last couple of weeks. So we're going out testing those fixes. We hope this is going to give us a good kick, catch up some of the opposition and get us into a competitive place. On a day like today, it's about two things. Firstly, it's about checking the changes we've made to the boat are behaving as we expect. And then secondly, and more importantly, it's just practice time. It's just the crew learning the changes we've made, learning how the boat behaves, and honing in on the final technique changes ahead of the racing period.
Yeah, with one day to go, I guess everyone can get bent out of shape and get all antsy and nancy about getting into it. But for us, it's all about sitting down, eating your eggs, and just carrying on as we normally would. We're obviously all very excited to get out on the water, to get stuck into the racing. It's been a huge culmination of a lot of collective efforts that have actually even got us here to Bermuda. And hard to believe that after all the ups and downs, we're actually just about to get out on the water and have our first official race in the next 24 hours. So all the boys are certainly in a great frame of mind. We've got a lot of guys on the yacht that have been at Olympic level sailing and Olympic level sport. And without a doubt, they're absolutely fully aware of the pressure that's coming our way. And I'm 100% confident as the sailing team director that we've got the right men for the job. So I'm very fortunate to have those guys around me and the rest of the team to get out there and get the job done. A lot of people would ask, are we ready for this America's Cup? And I would have to absolutely say yes, we are. We're going to learn every single outing and every single race we do. It's going to be another feather in our cap, and I think the learning curve for us will be quite a bit steeper than the other guys in the early rounds, but we're very, very, very prepared for that. And I think all the guys are really soaking up the atmosphere. really getting into the racing side of things now. And we've 100% got our race huts on now. All the homework's been done as best we possibly can, and it's simply now up to us as a team collectively to get out there and just complete the test.
I think you'll see the fastest boats on water, the best sailors, best athletes in the world, and it'll be incredible. You know, there's no doubt in my mind this will be a defining chapter in America's Cup, and be known as the Foiling America's Cup. We are approaching the qualifying series to win, and that's our goal. If we can finish these 2 round robins ahead, we get to start the America's Cup effectively with a bonus point. If the challenger comes through and is able to win the qualifiers and they come through to the match, same deal, they get a bonus point. So clearly there is something here worth fighting for, and we will approach every single race to win. Yeah, as of today, I put Artemis, Japan and Team New Zealand as the strongest challengers as of today. Now that can obviously change, but that's what I think sitting here.
We believe we can win this competition. We wouldn't be sitting here now, I wouldn't be sitting here now, and the team wouldn't be working as hard as they have been. So yeah, we respect our competition massively. This is an incredibly tough event to win, but yeah, we believe we can do it. Struggle for straight line speed in some of the practice races in some of the conditions, and that's something we're working very hard to rectify, and that's part of the game. We saw in the last Cup just how quickly the competition can change, and you know, for all of the teams, I know that they're developing as hard as they can through the competition, and that's the same for us. So we're pushing incredibly hard to be there and be super fast. Yeah, I think it's fascinating. I think these boats, this race course, these crews, it's all on out there, and it's just going to make for an incredible spectacle. So bring it on.
On est très fiers et très privilégiés d'être dans cette compétition. C'est quand même le rêve de beaucoup de navigants et de fans de voile d'un jour accéder et être sur la ligne de départ de cette compétition. Donc mes équipiers et moi-même et toute l'équipe qui est derrière moi, le fait de pouvoir vivre cette expérience, c'est formidable dans une vie. On est parti de rien et juste d'une idée. Et aujourd'hui, l'idée, elle est quand même vraiment concrète et c'est une belle histoire, quoi que soit le résultat. Et voilà, on a vraiment envie évidemment de continuer et mettre notre énergie dans cette compétition qui est fabuleuse. Notre préparation aux Bermudes s'est plutôt bien passée parce qu'on a fait tout ce qu'on avait prévu de faire. Les changements sur le bateau ont été faits, les jours d'entraînement ont quasiment été faits, on aimerait toujours pouvoir plus naviguer. On a vu que nos adversaires sont très très forts par contre. Ils sont souvent loin devant, mais on rattrape et puis on fait des choses vraiment bien. Et voilà, en 6 mois, je trouve qu'on a franchi une marche vis-à-vis de la façon dont on pilote ce bateau, qui est un bateau compliqué. Aujourd'hui, on a une liste qui ressemble à un livre si on voulait encore améliorer le bateau. À un moment, la compétition arrive et le bateau est tel qu'il est. Mais on sait plein d'endroits où on pourrait l'améliorer. Et il a fallu faire des choix et à un moment bloquer les évolutions pour pouvoir utiliser un bateau correctement et apprendre à l'utiliser. Voilà, mais oui, évidemment, c'est une compétition aussi technologique et là-dessus, il n'y a jamais de fin. C'est un puissant fond d'évolution potentielle. L'équipe technique n'a pas beaucoup dormi et je les remercie d'ailleurs de nous permettre de naviguer avec un bateau au point sur cette première régate de la 35e Côte américaine.
Coming into the start of AC35, it was clear that there was a need to have more teams in the America's Cup.
In the end of 2014, I got a phone call and there might be potential challenge from Japan. So would you like to help them? So yes, of course, whatever I need to do, I'll 100% I'll help.
I was very much so an unexpected opportunity to find myself in this position with SoftBank Team Japan. You know, I wasn't sure that I was going to be involved in AC35, and here we are, 2 years later, about to start racing. Portsmouth for us in 15 was a real scramble. I think it'd be fair to say we're running around like headless chickens trying to get everything together.
It was a tough regatta, first few regatta, obviously.
There's so many other things going on at the early stages of a team that you're probably not as focused as you need to be on the racing to really get to where you wanted to be with new combinations and everything else on the boat. It was difficult. Fuku on his own right is an incredibly talented sailor, but with the requirements of these boats being so physically demanding, we knew that we needed to bring in some Japanese sailing talent, and it was incredible the uptake that we got.
We had a 3 days trial, November 2015. It was a quite tough physical test, interview and sailing on GC32. Yuki Kasatani and then Yugo Yoshida. These guys absolutely dominated.
The base build was quite an interesting project. We started building the main structure before Christmas, and up it all went, and here we are now with a facility which is just fantastic. It does everything we need and more. With the smallest team here, we've got the smallest footprint with our team base, but a very functional and workable environment. As we developed through the World Series events, I think we showed flashes of brilliance, and then we'd sort of cloud that at times with just sort of some silly mistakes which would end up costing us. So Chicago was really encouraging, to put together a really solid day on the Sunday, and come away with a good podium finish.
The Chicago events proved that we can achieve the goal we want, and sort of a great turning point for us to, okay, we can jump up, we can go next level. Really, it was a dream come true, having an America's Cup event in Japan, Fukuoka. Sailing is a very minor sport in Japan, but this new era of the America's Cup, I think we have a very good future. We are really lucky to have a Shinto priest here today. He will perform traditional way to blessing the new boat.
Yeah, it's a real sort of memorable occasion, a real landmark for SoftBank Team Japan to have our first race boat in the water after sort of nearly 2 years now of just sort of work to get to this point.
Yeah, sometimes you find it all kind of a little bit surreal, when you come to work and you see what we've created. But we've got some amazing people, and I think we've been very, very fortunate. The reality is it's bloody hard work. It needs to be more than a job for the people that come here. It needs to be something they're passionate about and really truly believe in. And we're obviously really happy with the way it's all developed.
I personally waiting for this moment 17 years. I'm really looking forward to see how far we can go. I can't wait to show everybody, especially people in Japan, what we've been working for. I'm really excited.